well, well. If it isn't the 6th grade class, ready for another fine and exciting mathematical lesson. Let me share my screen. You want to take out a blank piece of paper, on top, write the word capacity. Capacity, let's see, right about here. Capacity. And that really is our liquid measurements. Liquid measurements. Now, here's what we're going to do, because the first thing we're talking about is the U.S. customary system. You've heard me give my rant and rave about why we are just foolish to use this system, but we continue to do so, and because of that we have to go through this tragedy here. U.S. customary system. No rhyme or reason to it, it's just what it is. Now, here's what I need you to do. With whatever paper you have left on the bottom, all right, try to focus with me here. And I'm going to do this because I can't draw. For some reason, I'm just not very good at drawing squares with this thing. So this is your entire piece of paper. I need to take your pencil as best you can with whatever is left of your piece of paper. I want you to draw a big old box with whatever is left of your piece of paper. Okay. So you're going to fill up the entire bottom half of whatever you wrote after. Underneath the U.S. customary system, you're going to make just a ginormous box like that. Okay? Because here's what we're going to do. Here's a handy dandy little way to remember. Because you know that our customary system is made up of gallons, pints, quarts, cups, and then it goes into teaspoons and tablespoons and ounces and yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. This is probably the best way to remember it. Okay? So this entire box right here stands for a gallon. A gallon. That's the big box right here. Okay. And then, ladies and gentlemen, as best you can, inside the gallon, I want you to try to draw as best you can. And again, I would do it freehand, but I just cannot, for some reason, it's really hard to draw on my thing here. So inside Mr. Gallon, you need to draw 4 as best you can. And I'm going to copy these or clone them. 4. Somewhere there's the word clone on here. Where is it? There it is. 4 identical, as close as you can. Sorry. I didn't want to do that. And I didn't want to do that. I do want to do this though. 4 of these shapes, just as close as you can. See if I can turn this clone thing off. Okay. So each one of those, children, each one of those is a quart. So you can write quart in each one of those, and that's an easy way to remember. There are 4 quarts in a gallon. 4 quarts in a gallon. And then guess what we're going to do? I'll give you a little time to do that. Inside each little quart, let's make this, oh, I guess we have blue left here. Inside each quart, you are going to draw 2 smaller rectangles, and you can probably guess what those are. Those are going to be our pints. So it'll look like this. I really didn't do a very good job there, did I? Well, that won't be the first time. Inside each of your quarts, there will be 2 of these little rectangles. And those, ladies and gentlemen, each one of those is a pint. Each one of those is a pint. Pint, pint, pint. 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 I don't know why I keep wanting to put an R there. Pint. Pint. For crying out loud. Pint. I think the R just comes naturally when I do this. Pint. So if I asked you how many pints were in a gallon, you can tell right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 pints in a gallon. There's 4 quarts in a gallon. There's 2 pints in every quart. Okay. And then inside every pint, boy, this is starting to get snarky now, isn't it? Inside every pint, you will draw 2 smaller rectangles, because each one of those is going to be a cup. Get my little clone business here. Boom, boom. Let's see, I don't know if I can draw it faster than you can. Maybe I will slow down. But you can always stop the video and resume at whatever point makes you feel good. I do like being able to draw these boxes. It's so much better than me trying to draw them all freehand. And feel free to use all these pretty little colors. Oof. I will slow down just a little bit here. So each one of those, you can put the letter C in. The letter C, the letter C, the letter C, the letter C, the letter C. The letter C, the letter C, the letter C, letter C, letter C, letter C, and you can tell then there would be 16, count them, 16 cups in a gallon. Now it's also pretty easy to see that if somebody asked you how many cups were in a half of a gallon, you would just look at half of this gallon and say, oh, there's 8 cups in a half a gallon, or there's 4 pints in a half a gallon, or there's 2 quarts in a half a gallon, because it's all visually written right there. And then, am I going too fast? Slowing down to a crawl here. And then last but not least, we are also going to put inside every cup, and this I will write inside my cups here. No more drawing boxes. What color should we use? Let's go with orange. Inside every cup has 8 ounces. So we're just going to do this. We're going to go 8 OZ, 8 OZ, 8 OZ, because that's our little abbreviation for ounces. 8 OZ, 8 OZ, 8 ounces, 8 ounces, 8 ounces, 8 ounces. I gotta go down here. 8 ounces, 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 and 8 ounces. So that's a lot of ounces in a gallon. I guess if you took 16 times 8, what would you get? 128. There's 128 ounces in a gallon. And then again, this thing is so useful for you because, if somebody asked you how many ounces were in a quart, you pick your 1 quart box and you look. There must be 32 ounces because there's 4 cups and each cup has 8 ounces, and you can see that that is 32 ounces. And again, I don't know who came up with the whole system, why they did not just do it like the metric system, which we might leave for another day, but all we have are liters and milliliters in the metric system. Just 2 things. There's 1,000 milliliters in a liter, but we had to go with all this gallons to ounces and stuff there. So I think, well, You know what, we should probably, not sure where we can tuck in. I'm not sure where we can tuck in the milliliters, liters thing here. Maybe up here, I'll just write it out for you. I probably should have left you some room for it somewhere. Maybe you'll have to take it out on a new piece of paper here, but also write that there are 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. And that's, you know, a milliliter is pretty small. It's like a drop, you know, it's like a drop. And a liter is pretty close. I believe our water bottles, I think the water bottles that we drink of are 1/2 of a liter. So you have to put, I think they're 500 milliliters. So if you think of a water bottle, that is about half. See, this is why I don't do any drawing on this thing here. This water bottle, I believe, is 500 milliliters, which would make it 1/2 of a liter. So you put 2 of those together. You know, when you go to the store, you can buy pop in those 2-liter bottles. You know, those are kind of bigger sort of things there. So, all right, 6th grade, it's time for me to say sayonara. Have a great Easter break, because I probably won't see you till we come back from that. Let me see where we're at. I'll turn off the recording. Enjoy your day.